Was that back in the last century? Was that back in the 30s, 40s? What decade was that first game?
No, Bruno, it was actually in the 80s, and you're only 5 years younger than me, so just be careful about the cheap shots at ages. And well, the first game against Chelsea, what a relief. I remember actually going out to the top of the old stadium and seeing a queue lined up, well, almost over to Goldie's motel over the road, and it was a great sense of relief to see a huge crowd.
One of your old stamping grounds too. Goldie's just quietly, Mick. Hey?
Yeah, there was.
You cut a few out of the pack there, mate.
Grab a granny nights were fairly popular out there. But yes, the first game was just fantastic. We beat Chelsea, I think, by about 10 points, and they'd actually won the championship the previous year.
See, I remember before that, Mick, I remember back in the 60s, 70s, we used to have to put money in the, mate, we used to have to put money in the lights at the old YMCA.
Yeah, I remember that well. Yeah, that's right. That was in the good days. That's where it all started.
That was the good old days, mate, back in Benders. What about the championship game, though, Mick?
Yeah, 1988.
You were the chairman.
I was the chairman, yeah.
Did you ever get to be the chairman of the Bendigo Braves?
Well, I think a couple of very persuasive individuals with the same name took a while, but they talked me into it. Look, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a fairly turbulent time, but the championship game in 1988 was just fantastic. Max Brisbane and I actually took on basically running the club with a lot of help from a very good board, and we had set ourselves 3 years to win a championship, but the players under Dave Flint's coaching got a little bit ahead of themselves and decided to win it in 1988. And
so another plan stuffed up there.
Exactly. Well, that's what plans are made for. They're made to change, and I can still remember the Bendigo crowd at that game were just fantastic. The chants and the clapping of some of our all stalwarts up in the crowd was just fantastic. And the end of that game, I think everyone just went berserk.
Mate, I remember Lammy gave everyone this little concoction on the way to the game. Had brought out these little plastic drink bottles. I don't know what he'd mixed up in it, but every player on the team had some of that, whatever, I don't know whether it was steroids or what it was, except for one, David Johnson.
Yes.
Now, he's the only one. He scored 132 points that game, and no one else could actually stand up. I reckon Lambie had slipped everyone a Mickey.
I think it was...
Might have been working for the opposition.
No, I think it was a David Johnson, Graham Lamb conspiracy to make sure he scored a lot of points.
Hey, what about... you forgot the big story about that championship game, your bus driving.
Oh, yes. Well, that will give certainly a number of people here a bit of a chuckle. We travelled back from Broadmeadows in great spirits to the Golden Hills Motel that we mentioned previously, one of your old stomping grounds, and we pulled in under the our carport there, and everybody offloaded. I was driving the bus, offloaded, and went into a fantastic reception from all our fans in Bendigo. And I said, well, I'll back the bus out. So I go to back the bus out. And once they've all got off, the bus is lifted and got stuck under the rafters. So
you crashed the bus, Mick.
Crashed it, basically.
Yeah.
We had to get the guys back on and back it out with them on and start again.
And so as a reward, you then took them to America, and that was a complete stuff-up as well, wouldn't it?
No, the trip to the USA in 1989 was probably a landmark for the club and for the town. We went to Los Altos, and we spent some time with people there and travelled all up and down the west coast and played a few games of basketball. But wonderful thing, and your family came, and your wonderful children actually spent a day in a school in Los Altos.
My girls have been scarred, never been the same since.
I think a few of the boys had a bit of fun over there too. Different parties, I think, and different things that went on.
Mate, as usual, you haven't let me get a word in. You're incredible, but I just probably should say about the later years, and the stadium were involved. People probably don't realise we had a couple of pipes off 2 or 3 of the poker machines, and the money just used to go straight into the Braves' coffers. I can probably say that now. I don't think that's illegal, is it?
I don't think that was public knowledge.
No. One of them went
to I don't think it was true.
One of them went to the Lady Braves too, I think, just quietly. They like a bit of shopping. But anyway, the other thing I think has been great about the state... Look, I think it's the best stadium, going. It's absolutely fantastic facility. And so many of the Braves players and that have been employed there, and basically none of them have ever worked.
And yeah, well,
Hey, none of them have actually
no, that's
done
right.
anything.
And it's well, they were led well out of the stadium
Oh,
up
you-
until in that regard up until 2004. But I believe it's really kicked on since then.
Yeah,
and,
things apparently in
they've,
Bendigo are really
sharpened
booming
the management and
since you've left. Anyway, we'd like to probably wish everyone the best, and just to let people know that Coral Sea Villas are currently doing a bit of a special deal up here in beautiful Port Douglas. So, see if you could just bring the camera
whatever
across
that offer
Coral
was,
Sea
Nautilus
Villas.
will beat it or match it by 5%.
A free night we'll throw in.
Well, I
Cheers, everybody.
better get back to cleaning the pool.
Yeah, see you soon. See you, Mick.
See ya, Bruno.
We'll catch you around, mate.